Okay, this one's time sensitive, so I'm getting straight to it. Suno is putting hard caps on how many tracks you can download, and it kicks in September 3rd. Here's the part that caught everyone out. It applies to songs you already made. So if you've got a library sitting in Suno that you assumed you could pull down whenever you felt like it, you got a window. And then you don't. Now let me give you the actual numbers, straight from Suno's Help Center and their Terms of Service update. 3 tiers. Free plan, 7 downloads. Not 7 a month, 7 total, lifetime, and their personal use only. On Pro, you get 20 downloads a month with commercial rights. Premier bumps that to 60. But here's the thing, unused downloads don't carry over. You can't bank them up ahead of the deadline. They just vanish on your billing date. One exemption worth knowing. Premier subscribers using Suno Studio, their production suite for stems and samples, don't have limits on studio work. And to be fair, streaming and sharing stay unlimited on every plan. This is specifically about pulling files down to your machine. Now the math, because this is where it gets uncomfortable. Say you've been generating for a year and you've got 300 tracks you actually like. You're on Pro, so 20 a month. That's 15 months to export music you already made. 15 months. Premier at 60 a month. Still 5 months of chipping away at your own catalog. And on Free, you get 7. Ever. That's the whole allowance. The reason this is landing so hard, most people producing at volume treated Suno as their library. The tracks live there. You pull one down when you need it. That model just stopped working. And it stopped working retroactively, which is the part nobody planned for. So why is Suno doing this? Worth understanding rather than just being annoyed about. Their stated reasoning, limiting downloads makes it harder for bad actors to mass export music. They want the platform used for intentional creation, instead of as a fire hose. This lands in the same window as their watermarking announcement from a few days earlier. Same pressure behind both, the pile of major label lawsuits. Whatever you think of it, the direction is clear. Getting audio out of Suno is going to be more controlled from here. Now the practical question. You've got a window before September 3rd and a library to rescue. Clicking through tracks one at a time? That's how you lose a weekend. And if you've got hundreds of them, it's genuinely not viable. This is what Undetectr's Suno playlist importer is for. You put your tracks into a public playlist on Suno, copy the playlist URL from your browser, paste it into the importer, hit Fetch Playlist, and it pulls the whole thing. 4 steps, 1 zip. You can take the entire playlist or tick individual songs. Files come down as high-quality MP3 straight from Suno's CDN. And it doesn't ask for your Suno login. It works off the public playlist link. For a few hundred tracks, that's the difference between an afternoon and 15 months. But here's the bit that matters if you're actually planning to release any of this. And it connects directly to Suno's other announcement. Tracks you pull down carry markers you can't hear. There's the SynthID-class watermark woven into the audio signal. C2PA content credentials riding along as a signed manifest. And spectral fingerprints that generation leaves in the frequency content. Suno announced August 6th that they're rolling this out across everything, and they described it as durable and resistant to tampering. And to kill the obvious idea before you waste an evening on it, stripping metadata does nothing. Tag editor, wipe every field, convert MP3 to WAV and back, rename the file. The watermark lives in the waveform, not the tags. It survives all of that. So Undetectr is the same tool on the other side of the job. It's an artifact removal engine built specifically for music, not adapted from image tooling. And it works in 6 layers. 3 layers handle the embedded markers: SynthID, C2PA, spectral fingerprints. The other three handle structural tells, timing normalization, dynamic range reshaping, stereo field correction. Because generated audio sits rhythmically rigid and dynamically flat in a way that's its own signature, it runs in the browser, takes MP3, WAV, or FLAC. And it also does a mastering pass that lands you around -14 LUFS, which is where streaming platforms want you. The site is currently tested against Suno 5.5, which matters when Suno is shipping changes this fast. Honest scope on that? Same as always. Suno's newest watermark is still rolling out, and they've explicitly built it to resist tampering. Nobody can promise a permanent guarantee against a system that isn't fully live. But what's checkable? Undetectr removes the SynthID-class watermark, C2PA, spectral fingerprints, and it builds and tests against DistroKid intake screening, which is the gate most indie artists are actually hitting. And by the way, Undetectr also has this feature called Sound Match that's worth knowing about. You enter a song or a band you like, the AI analyzes its actual sound, and then it gives you prompts that recreate that sound in Suno, Udio, or 11 Labs. So instead of guessing at genre tags, you're starting from a reference track. Now, what does this actually cost? Because for this particular job, the pricing model matters as much as the price. The playlist importer is included free with a lifetime plan. And lifetime is $39, one time. That covers unlimited Suno playlist downloads, unlimited track processing for artifact removal, MP3, WAV, and FLAC output, priority queue, and future features. No subscription. The one-time model is the whole point for this particular job. You're not doing a handful of tracks. You're doing a rescue operation on an entire library and then processing whatever you decide to release. Track 1 and track 400 costing the same is what makes that viable. All right, the honest part. Two things, clearly. First, use this on your own music. The importer works on public playlists, which means it could obviously be pointed at someone else's. Don't. The people harvesting other artists' libraries are exactly why these restrictions landed on the rest of us. Second, cleaning artifacts is release prep for tracks you actually made, not a tool for impersonating artists or flooding platforms with junk. Disclose where a platform asks you to. Put out music you'd put your name on. So here's where that leaves you. Short version. September 3rd, downloads get capped. 7 lifetime on free, 20 a month on Pro, 60 a month on Premiere. And it applies to songs you already made. If you have a catalog in there, this is the week to get it out. Put your tracks in a playlist. Run it through the Suno playlist importer. Take the zip and clean anything you plan to release. $39 once. Covers both jobs. $39 in an afternoon. Or 15 months of downloading 20 tracks at a time. The math is pretty obvious. And remember, Undetectr builds and tests against DistroKid intake screening. That's the gate most indie artists are actually hitting when they try to distribute. So the whole pipeline goes from Suno playlist to release-ready files. Links below. And subscribe, because this space is moving weekly right now, and I'll keep testing the tools that actually keep up.